J.J. McCarthy versus Kyler Murray. The quarterback competition for the Minnesota Vikings has officially begun. But is it a real competition or is it just for show? On one hand, we got Kyler Murray, veteran quarterback, played many games in the NFL, played at a high level in the NFL. And on the other hand, we got J.J. McCarthy, young quarterback, third year in the league, injuries, inconsistent play, but still with room to develop. Is this competition really a competition at the end of the day? You can already see the different approaches by the two quarterbacks and the way they approach the media. Obviously went viral. The difference in the media answers between Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy. Kyler Murray, he gave the clean cut, corporate, veteran, media trained answers. JJ McCarthy gave answers that could come off as immature, but the way I see it as fire. I see it as spicy. He's not thrilled. Obviously, he's not thrilled about them bringing in Kyler Murray, and it's going to be an uphill battle for him. And I think he knows that. Kyler Murray is only here because of the inconsistencies and the inability for JJ McCarthy to stay healthy. Do I still believe in JJ McCarthy as the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? Yes. I'm not giving up on JJ McCarthy. I haven't sold my stock in JJ McCarthy. I think that JJ McCarthy still has a lot of potential, and I think that he still has a lot of room to grow, a lot of growing up to do. But with that being said, I think he would benefit from sitting a year behind Kyler Murray and just letting the game, learning the game, and seeing how a veteran quarterback approaches it, not while not being injured like he was his rookie year. Do I see a world where JJ McCarthy actually wins the starting job out of training camp? Honestly speaking, no, I don't. Not because he's incapable of potentially beating out Kyler Murray. That's not the reason I say no. I just don't believe that the Vikings would bring Kyler Murray in and not have him start. You know, even if he starts a few games and doesn't look as good as they thought, he's going to start day one. You got to put the veteran out there because the way it's being presented, this team is a quarterback away from being a championship contender. Do I believe that? Yeah, you can convince me. Uh, Top five defense, weapons, best weapons in the NFC North easily, by the way. Quarterback play was one of the worst in the league last year. And that's not all on JJ. We had Max Brosmer. We had Carson Wentz early on in the year who he didn't play bad till he got hurt. But quarterback play was the biggest question mark for this team and the biggest downfall for this team last year. So with average to above average quarterback play, does this make this team a championship contender? We'll see. The pieces are there. You might have to find a couple more DBs, but other than that, man, I think this team is locked and loaded and ready to go. And with Kyler Murray most likely being the starter, would that compel JJ McCarthy to want to force his way out of Minnesota? I'm not too sure. But on that same token, what if Kyler Murray has a Sam Darnold-esque season and either meets or exceeds the expectations that the team has for him? What would the Vikings do? That's decisions that would need to be made by Kevin O'Connell and new Vikings GM Nolan Teasley. Speaking of newly hired general manager Nolan Teasley, who spent the past 13 seasons working with the Seahawks. Last 3 seasons, he was the assistant general manager, contributing to their recent draft success and their Super Bowl win. And with the hiring of Nolan Teasley, that gives you Nolan Teasley, Rob Brzezinski, who will remain in his role as vice president of football operations, and head coach Kevin O'Connell as a nice trio of leaders at the top of the organization. Teasley will be expected to work alongside Kevin O'Connell and Rob Brzezinski, but he will be the primary decision maker and he will report directly to the Wills. With the general manager finally being in place with the team, it'll be interesting to see how he puts his own stamp, his own mark on the team in the years to come. Last thing I want to talk about, I want to mention, I was really excited for the Vikings to draft Demond Claiborne out of Wake Forest. I really think this kid has the potential to be something special. I know he's not the biggest guy. Um, and he's still raw. He has some work to do. He has to work on pass protection and all that. But I really have high expectations for him, even though he's a 6th round pick. I don't know. It's just something about him when I watch him play. Him learning from a veteran like Aaron Jones, who has a similar run style, even though Demond is a lot more explosive at this stage in time. I think he could really pick up a lot from Aaron Jones and develop into that RB1 in the future. You never know. It might happen towards the end of this year. But I have really high hopes for Demond Claiborne. Really high hopes for this team and this whole rookie class in general. You know, Caleb Banks, Dominique Orange. It's, it's some guys. It's some guys. I like the safety. We're in OTAs right now, but after that, it'll be about 6 weeks until training camp starts, until the real pads come on, and then we see what guys really looking like. But until then, we got a couple of months to go. So we're gonna make it through, man. We almost done. The off season is almost over. It's almost time for the NFL to be back. But with that being said, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and episodes will be dropping every Wednesday morning. Just with an overview of what's going on with the Vikings. I'll start sprinkling in a little bit more going on around the league, like freaking Miles Garrett getting traded to the Rams. That's insane. That's really insane. But thank you so much for watching. Episode's gonna drop every Wednesday morning. This will probably be the shortest episode that we do. So stay tuned for more. I appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, Skull.